Our News is brought to you by Alive.
Believe in best.
Coming up tonight in Our News, back in business, the downtown straw market reopens. The former Prime Minister explains why he called an early election, and the new BPL board announced. Welcome to Our News, and thank you for joining us. I'm Kyle Joaquin. 20 months after the downtown straw market was closed due to the COVID-19 pandemic, leaving scores of vendors and craftspeople out of work, the popular tourist attraction reopened this morning. With more, here's Jasmine Brown.
The shelves here at the downtown straw market are no longer empty for the first time in nearly 2 years, as some vendors returned to work this morning.
I thank God that they really opened the market and the minister really worked with us.
It was a sentiment shared by every straw vendor we spoke to just moments after the market reopened for the first time since the start of the COVID-19 pandemic. On March 23, 2020, then Prime Minister Dr. Hubert Minnis ordered the closure of all non-essential establishments, including the straw market, following the confirmation of the Bahamas' first COVID case. During a tour of the facility, Minister of Works Alfred Sayers says while work to build a $70,000 sick bay is still ongoing, it was important to open the market sooner rather than later.
Whatever we do, it has to be done in consultation with the Ministry of Health, but we are listening to the stakeholders. And the stakeholders have put certain recommendations, and those recommendations are under active consideration, and further announcements will be made.
Reopening comes with several new measures, including a 3-day shift system for vendors. 180 vendors are allowed in the market at a time. There will also be sanitization and temperature stations and limited entrance and exit points for the market. Lisa Roll, who caught COVID-19 while 7 months pregnant last year, says it was rough being out of work for so long.
It was ridiculous, but I made it through. I'm from Exuma, so I cooked up my bush medicine and I doctored myself, and I made it through. Sorosy, Alavis, I did it, you know? So I made it through, thank God. Texas natives and repeat visitors Dawn and Jessica Fincher say they were happy to see the market finally reopened.
We're always encouraged to see places start to loosen up. Everybody's eager to get back to work and get back to normal life, and everybody's wore out and tired of the way things have been. So it's good to see people excited to try to get back to what it used to be.
While it was a day of celebration for the vendors, Straw Vendors Advancement Association President Celestine Eneas also revealed vendors are still trying to get to the bottom of thousands of dollars worth of missing items that were stored in the closed market during the pandemic.
My big question is, we was not allowed in here. And if they allow us in here, somebody from the authority walked with the vendors to the shops. But when the vendors came, their stuff was gone. My daughter had 7 bags of stuff missing, over $3,000.
Ministry of Works officials confirmed there is an ongoing investigation into the matter. Reporting for Our News, I'm Jasmine Brown.
Bahamas Power and Light now has a new board in place. Businessman and Exuma Chamber of Commerce President Pedro Roll taking the helm. During a press conference today, Works Minister Alfred Sayers said they hope to achieve the goal of 30% renewable energy by 2030.
That is a very, very ambitious target, but it is one that we have to and we must achieve.
The goal of having 30% of power generation comprising of renewable energy is a top priority, according to Sears, as he announced the new board of directors for Bahamas Power and Light. Another goal, BPL's fuel hedge strategy, which is set to expire shortly. According to Sears, professional services firm Deloitte will begin a rapid assessment of BPL's rate reduction bond and hedge strategy this week to determine the way forward.
The good thing about this is that in the short time that I've been here, which is 2 months, right? Proposals are coming in from all, you could not imagine the sources who are presenting proposals and are prepared to pay off the legacy debt and so on. So there is never a shortage of options, but it is for the board.
The company's legacy debt of nearly $300 million remains a major concern. As for negotiations with Shell North America, which have been ongoing for years now, Sears says the foreign company recently met with the Prime Minister.
The conversation, Shell is available and has expressed its willingness as the government recalibrates to work and facilitate and is willing to partner with the government.
BPL's new chairman says while there are a number of issues to be dealt with within a timely manner, he's up to the challenge.
That's a lot of things to try and accomplish. We talk about 30% by 2030. Whatever the challenges may be, we can't afford at this stage to say it's too hard. Because this planet that we have, it's not all we've got.
Well, consumers owe Bahamas Power and Light over $100 million, according to BPL CEO Whitney Hasty. Though the company gave customers an extended period to pay the balance of their bills, some of those accounts were reconnected, only to be disconnected for failure to pay.
What we found was those who were disconnected, whether it be, and they came back on with 50% down in 6 months or 25% down and 12 months to pay, it made little difference. That the pattern of individuals who were disconnected initially remained the same. It was not long after that they were put back on the grid. Even with 12 months to pay, they found themselves disconnected again.
BPL resumed disconnections July of last year. Since then, Hasty said the company has changed a policy that now targets those owing over $500 for 3 months for disconnection instead of $300.
BPL is in dire straits financially, and therefore we have reverted to our 50% policy if you are disconnected from the grid with 6 months to pay, because we found, like I said, that the 25 and 12 months didn't yield much for the consumer. So that's where we are today. We're back to 50% of what it is that you would owe with 6 months to pay.
In other news, days before the Free National Movement elects a new leader, outgoing leader Dr. Hubert Minnis told party members that he rang the bell early because his government needed a new mandate in order to tackle very difficult decisions. Vonnie Toot has a story.
Our election defeat will not break you. We have been this road before. And we will come back even stronger.
2 months after the Free National Movement's stunning defeat at the polls, former Prime Minister Dr. Hubert Minnis sought to explain why he called the general election 8 months earlier than expected.
Many still ask the question, why was election called? I would say to you that we have some headwinds that are coming. Those headwinds, in order to manage those headwinds that we see coming, it was essential to have a new mandate, because very, very difficult decisions has to be made.
Minnis faced criticism for calling an election in the midst of a vicious third wave of COVID-19 infections. And on Election Day, the party was swept out of office, holding on to just 7 seats.
We were determined to obtain that mandate so that we can make those difficult decisions and build a better country together. Your trust in the God of mercy who has brought us this far, trust that He will take us further to brighter times.
This will be one of Minnis's final addresses as F&M leader, as the party prepares to choose his replacement during its one-day convention on Saturday. Marco City MP Michael Pintard, East Grand Bahama MP Kwesi Thompson, and Central Grand Bahama MP Iram Lewis are the 3 leadership contenders. As he prepares to step down, the outgoing leader told supporters the F&M has weathered many storms which built resistance and forged character.
No one election can extinguish our hopes and our dreams for the Bahamian people. It is these hopes, dreams, and our many, many accomplishments which make the Free National Movement an extraordinary political organization. We remain the better party for the Commonwealth of the Bahamas.
Reporting for our News, I'm Vonnie Toot.
The Ministry of Health reveals today that 92% of the 181 people who were infected with COVID-19 in October were unvaccinated. 91% of COVID deaths last month were also unvaccinated. Health and Wellness Minister Michael Darville called those statistics startling and encouraged more people to get the jab.
That's concerning to us, and that should be a red flag and concerning to everyone in the country. The medical analysis of hospitalization and deaths are clear. The majority of individuals who end up in hospital are unvaccinated. The majority of individuals who die as a result of COVID-19 are unvaccinated. So with that information available to every Bahamian in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, as a healthcare professional, I advise them to get vaccinated as soon as possible.
The vaccine committee is now looking at a third dose of a vaccine for people who are immunocompromised. Darville, who has said they want to vaccinate 50% of the population by year's end, noted that's more of a preventative measure.
There's a possibility that there may be more people in our country with natural immunity. And so to give a number for herd immunity is sort of misleading. Because when we look at countries around the world where you have 70 to 80% of the population vaccinated, but you have so much infection, it really begins to question whether or not we as healthcare professionals should be giving a number of what herd immunity is.
Some showers expected tonight. Greg Thompson is in studio with our first look at weather.
Thanks, Kyle, and welcome everybody for your first look at weather, brought to you by Ports International, trusted medical supplies for a better quality of life. Outside our studios, we're enjoying some partly cloudy skies with some rumble we heard earlier, some showers in the vicinity, temperatures in the mid-70s, 75 outside our studios right now. Southwest winds at 8 miles per hour, and your field slight temperature in the mid to upper 70s. On our satellite, frontal boundary pushing across the northwest Bahamas as we speak. Not much weather associated with it, just a very narrow line of showers and isolated thunderstorms along the boundary. Very weak one, but we expect a secondary front that's now moving across northern Florida to get near sometime tomorrow. That one will bring in a nice change in air mass, cooler temperatures expected for the next couple of days. That's your first look at weather. Your extended forecast is still to come.
Still to come, no word on the release of the BPL report and the moratorium on straw market arrears extended. Stay with us.
Welcome to our news and thanks for joining us. Topping news tonight.
COVID-19 remains a serious threat.
Coronavirus COVID-19 has disrupted our economy, tourism industry, educational system, and put our healthcare facilities and professionals on high alert. Are you prepared? Do you have all the facts? Stay tuned to this network for the very latest news and information on this global pandemic.
Still, no word on when the public will learn the findings of that probe into the dismissal of Bahamas Power and Light's board 3 years ago. The report was commissioned by former Prime Minister Hubert Minnis, but to date has still not been released.
The report would have not been commissioned by the Ministry of Works or by BPL. It was commissioned by the Office of the Prime Minister. So your question really should be directed at the Office of the Prime Minister that would have commissioned the report and is in possession of the report.
Outgoing BPL Chairman Donovan Moxey says BPL executives and board members received a copy under his leadership. However, it wasn't his place to release it to the public.
The short answer is yes. We did request a copy of that report, and that report was actually shared with the executives and board members of BPL. Now that we're the outgoing board at BPL, it's not proper for me to have anything else beyond that to comment, aside from the fact that the executives and the board members did receive a copy of that report from the Office of the Prime Minister.
Minister of Works and Utilities Alfred Sears announcing the Straw Market Authority will extend its moratorium on arrears for those vendors who have been out of work for more than 20 months. Sears said government wants to ensure that everyone is able to at least return to work.
There has been a moratorium because the government recognizes that if your business is closed and you have to have, this is what we call not just a grace period, but a moratorium on the payment.
When Our News returns, how Rev is connecting people who care and the Suns heat up the court. The details when Our News returns.
Welcome to our WR News, and thanks for joining us. Topping news tonight.
COVID-19 remains a serious threat.
Coronavirus COVID-19 has disrupted our economy, tourism industry, educational system, and put our healthcare facilities and professionals on high alert. Are you prepared? Do you have all the facts? Stay tuned to this network for the very latest news and information on this global pandemic.
You're watching Our News. Welcome back. Each day, the team at Hands for Hunger picks up fresh food that would otherwise go to waste and transport it to community centers, shelters, and churches that cater to people in need. Hands for Hunger's hard work was highlighted during Rev's Connecting People Who Care campaign. Jillian Gray takes a look.
Canned goods, mashed potatoes, and oats. You may think I'm in a food store, but I'm actually in the Hands for Hunger pantry. On a daily basis, they pack from 25 to 30 bags to give to people in need. When it comes to the fight against hunger, they say they want to be the heroes.
Last month, it was like about between 400 and 500 persons for that particular month. And we have surpassed that this month, and we're just in the middle of the month. So the need is growing.
Formed in 2008, Hands for Hunger has fed hundreds of families in need. Its food pantry off Carmichael Road offers a unique spin on receiving food assistance. People can come and choose what they want, which eliminates waste and brings a certain level of dignity to the process, according to pantry coordinator Stacey Ann Joaquin.
That's your cream, and then your sweet milk. All right? Excellent, and it is as easy as that. You would have persons who don't want any of this. So we would say, well, okay, what is your liking? And they'd be like, I just need your fruits and your vegetables that we have here. And we would be like, okay, we'll just put more of that in the package for you.
Meat, eggs, fruits, and vegetables are all sourced either from local farmers or through corporate sponsors. It's a big task, and Joaquin says it's only through can or cash donations that they're able to continue their work. Hands for Hunger is one of 3 companies vying for Cable Bahamas' Connecting People Who Care campaign.
I get up every day. I feel good about it because I make a huge impact, and I love what I do.
She provides a wealth of care to those that are in need. A lot of people contact her directly, and so we thought it fitting to recommend her or nominate her as the hero from Hands for Hunger.
Joaquin described Thompson as a bundle of joy with a heart for people.
She is the link between the community and us.
For more information on how you can vote for this organization, go to rev.bs/connecting people who care. Reporting for Our News, I'm Jillian Gray.
Well, the winning streak continues for DeAndre Ayton and the Suns. Marcellus Hall has that tonight in sports.
All right, thanks a lot, and welcome to our sports on a Monday, everybody. I'm Marcellus Hall. If you thought it was a fluke last year when the Phoenix Suns made it all the way to the NBA Finals, you may want to think again, at least for the moment, because right now they're one of the hottest teams in the league, looking for win number 12 in a row. Last night, our guy DeAndre Ayton right in the middle of it. DeAndre Ayton, Phoenix Suns, going for win number 12 in a row as they faced off against the Denver Nuggets yesterday. This one a pretty good game. Suns rolling up 48 points in just the first quarter, and they would never look back. Going on to win this one, 126-97. A blowout victory for the Suns as they improved to 13-3. They're second in the Western Conference. How about our guy DeAndre? Finished up with 21 points, 8 rebounds, 2 blocks, 1 assist, and a steal. As he filled up the stat sheets there. More importantly, like we said, Suns now have won their 12th in a row, and they are looking pretty strong ahead of another game coming up tonight when they take on the San Antonio Spurs. Meanwhile, teams going through their final set of workout sessions ahead of the opening of the Bahama College Hoops Tournament. That's going to be taking place at the Grand Ballroom over the next few days. The tournament will run throughout the course of the Thanksgiving weekend, and it's just one of 3 that'll take place during the course of this time. Organizer Jeff Rogers talked about the excitement going in.
Right now, everything is, the green light is on. As you know, the team's already started practicing, and everybody's just excited, to be in the Bahamas. And now all we're doing now is just encouraging the local public, to come out. There's free parking. They make special provision, for Bahamians to buy the package for the whole week. So, this is the place you want to be for Thanksgiving weekend, and I'm just excited.
And there it is. You look at sports for you here on this Monday. Don't forget, Monday Night Football action comes your way this evening. We'll give you details on that and so much more tomorrow. I'm Marcellus Hall. Back to you.
Still ahead, Greg is back with the extended weather forecast. Stay tuned.
Welcome to our news and thanks for joining us. Topping news tonight.
COVID-19 remains a serious threat.
Coronavirus COVID-19 has disrupted our economy, tourism industry, educational system, and put our healthcare facilities and professionals on high alert. Are you prepared? Do you have all the facts? Stay tuned to this network for the very latest news and information on this global pandemic.
Welcome back to Our News. Cloudy conditions expected this week. Greg is back with the extended weather forecast.
Thanks again, Kyle, and welcome back, everybody, for your second look at weather. On our satellite, we're watching a frontal boundary, a weak one that's moving into the northwest Bahamas. Not much weather associated with that. Most of the weather's out towards the north and east of the islands. High pressure will be building in behind that as we expect a secondary front now across northern Florida to get in here by tomorrow. That will usher in a nice change in our air mass. Cooler temperatures expected for the next couple of days before things start to warm up. The tropics quiet at this time, and tropical cyclone formation is not expected as we wind down the official Atlantic hurricane season. Boating forecast for the northwest and central Bahamas tonight through tomorrow. Small craft advisory will be posted for you guys as those winds will be swinging out of the northwest to the north. 15 to 25 knots, very windy out there, 5 to 8 foot seas. Your high tide will be at 9:39 tonight. For the southeast Bahamas, caution flag, we'll keep that in stock for you guys. West to northwest at 15 knots, and your seas will be a choppy 3 to 6 feet over the ocean. Here's a look now at your national forecast. A look now at your 7-day forecast through Monday. That's a look at our weather. Make it a safe evening, everybody. Back to you, Kyle.
Well, thank you for joining us for Our News tonight. On behalf of the entire team, I'm Kyle Joaquin. Have a beautiful Monday evening, Bahamas.